Good morning. Good morning from Los Angeles. Good morning. How's everyone? Welcome to Trading with Sergio. How are you all doing? We had a couple of interesting days since Monday, since I went live on Monday. I'll obviously share the what I'm doing, how I rotated, how, as you know, I had puts, so they printed reasonably well. But the market just is, pretty much disregarding everything that's going on. As the title of today's live stream indicates, are we on the cusp of WW3? I don't know. WW3, as you guys know, it's not the World Wrestling Association. It's World War III. I mean, we know what's been going on in Gaza with Israel, obviously, but now things have escalated, although I will give my opinion about how that's going to turn out. At the moment, the market's treating it like it's a nothing burger. But now Israel has operations going into Lebanon. They just announced 8 more soldiers, Israeli soldiers, IDF soldiers died. The Middle East has been I don't know, just a trouble area of the globe for 1,000 years, and I don't think much is going to change, right? And it's a really tricky situation, honestly. I'll talk a little bit also about the strike that's going on with at the ports, how that could affect the macro side of the picture, and as far as I'm concerned, market really paid attention to it on Monday when Iran. By the way, I watched the debate last night. I think it was definitely a better debate than the presidential debate. I think they're both well-spoken people. They made their points, and they agreed on a few things too. So, which was like interesting to me. A lot smoother than the other one, for sure. I don't think too much fact-checking happened. A few times it did, but I thought it was a much better debate. Now, how important is the vice president? I don't know. I'm not sure it really matters. Mostly symbolic as far as I'm concerned. But the package is the package. You get the package, and I'm really thankful that it didn't get out of hand, obviously. But I watched here and there. I mean, on and off, really. My biggest concern with all of this that's going on, right? We have the elections coming up in, what is it? Today is the 2nd, so November 5th, right? Is the 5th or the 8th? 5th, I think. Coming up. So in a month, in 30 days, we're going to have a new either president or our first female president. And, we'll find out. We'll find out how this is going to all affect the average American. Both sides have plans, supposedly. But again, to my amazement and shock, literally shock, just like the presidential debate, the deficit really was not talked about. I mean, how are you guys going to lower the deficit? We're at 35 trillion, about to go to 36. Interest on the deficit is 1.2 trillion a year, and it's going to keep going higher because the deficit is going to keep going higher, and it seems like nobody cares. I care because I don't want Washington to mortgage my kids' future, and that's what they're doing. They have done it already, not that they're doing it, but I'm going to do like a long video actually separately on the channel about all this, and probably title it, "Why is Washington mortgaging my kids' future?" Look, I'm 57. I'm where I'm at. I'm fine, but it's just not my kids. I'm not sure what the plan is. This is not sustainable. It's going to break, and when it breaks, it's just going to create more problems, because in order to save the system, we will have to print probably 20 trillion this time, because when great financial crisis happened in 08, we only printed like 800 billion to a trillion to save the banks and all that. And then during the pandemic, we printed 7 to 8 trillion to save the economy. And so every time there's one of these black swan events happens, we keep printing more and more and more. So the next one is going to be, probably double-digit trillions. And what is that going to do? That may bring back inflation with a slowing economy. So that's the other ugly S word, which is called stagflation. Stagflation is high inflation with the GDP contracting, and not a good thing. But we'll see. I have my opinions about all of this, obviously. The important thing is, in all of this, you guys have to have a plan yourselves, right? What is your plan? I mean, I know a lot of you drive and, try to make ends meet. Before you vote, you have to ask yourself, am I better off? Am I better off than 4 years ago? Or not? And you just got to pick a side, right? I mean, both sides are not attractive to me, honestly. I like a government that's not involved in my life, and I like a government that's not overreaching. But we'll see. Last but not least, when it comes to the headline of, or the title of today's episode is, are we on the cusp of WW3? Okay, my opinion is this. Obviously Iran and that's the other thing during the debate. Mr. Waltz, it's not Iran, it's Iran. I mean, Iran doesn't exist. Iran is the way Americans say Iran. It's Iran. You can say Iran. And then when the Iraqi thing was going on, people used to call it Iraq. That doesn't exist either, right? Educate yourselves a little bit. You're like super high up people up there. And so Iran, launched tons of missiles, and Israel has the dome, right? The Iron Dome. Supposedly they knocked out a lot of them out of the air. But, escalation is escalation, man. And oil prices jumped. So you're going to see it in the gas stations. You know how these oil companies are. Oil prices jump. They jack up the gas prices, and then by 30 cents overnight, and then they'll bring it down a couple of pennies at a time every week. So, macro-wise, I think higher oil prices is not a good thing. It creates inflation because every good, cannot be shipped through the internet yet, right? They have to get into trucks. They have to get into people's homes, and all that equipment, as much as I would like them to be on EV vans and trucks and things like that, it runs with diesel mostly, and that's a derivative of oil. So is it going to hurt the pockets of the average American some more? Yeah. So, but the global conflict that exists is, Israel is in Lebanon, operations in Lebanon, and ground forces are in Lebanon, ground forces in Gaza, flatten the place out pretty much. Now going at it with Iran. And, how will it end? I think push comes to shove. Iran will lose this attempt, for the fact that, by the way, that was the most short-lived offense or attack I've ever. First of all, it was the most anticipated one. Finally, it happened. And the market kind of, wait a minute, what's happening? Is it serious? And then it looked like, no, not serious. And then literally after they lobbed the rockets, Iran said, well, operation is over. I'm going like, okay, cool. Thank God. But then, Israel says now, well, we're not going to lay down and take it. And we know what to do. Well, I know what they're going to do. I think what they're going to do is like they did in 1980s, early 80s. What did Israel do to Iran? Well, they went and knocked out all their oil infrastructure. So if Iran keeps pushing, and Israel, they have superior air power, and they're going to go knock their oil industry into oblivion. And when that happens, Iran not only will be broke, because that's where they get their money, but then globally, it may absolutely shoot up oil prices, because I don't think the Saudis can make up the difference that you're going to lose in OPEC with Iran. But then you have Russia, you have Venezuela, you have us. Like we are the largest well, if we're allowed to dig a little bit more, we could be the largest producer of oil and gas in the world, but we're not allowed to for certain reasons, as we know. Cheeky chops, stop. And long story short, I don't think it's going to be, the world market is treating it as if it's a nothing burger. Obviously, we had a little bit of a sell-off. I traded in and out of so many puts last 2 days. You guys knew my positions. I had the 565 October 18th puts. I had a cost of like 480. They got up to 7 and change. Obviously, I trade in and out of it. Market's not going straight down or straight up, but then I'm like accumulating some different positions, and then you guys will see the overall positions in a minute. The other thing that's going on is Chinese stock market is absolutely taken off because a lot of quant hedge funds got caught short with their pants, and now they're covering. And all these Chinese stocks like that I talked about for months, I'm 3/4 out of my Baba on my long-term portfolio. If you guys followed me, that in the 70s, it hit like 112 or 118 today, I think. And I think it's too much, too soon. So definitely gone parabolic. Billy just hit 32 this morning. I was talking about it on that one about 14s and 15s, JD.com, PDD. I'll go through the list and then show you guys what I'm thinking of doing with those. I will, you guys got to listen. And if you just, again, none of this is a trading or financial advice. There's disclaimers all over the channel. If you do follow me, like if you followed me on Monday because I had puts and you bought the puts, and you could have probably bought the put cheaper than me. And, but then yesterday, did you get out? Did you clean them up? And when I show you guys my position, you guys will see what I'm doing. And, it was a good couple of days for me, for my account. I think my account's up about 3.5% while the market's kind of going flat, which is good. Now I'm adding actually to certain positions that I think will do well, but again, at your own risk, not financial or trading advice. So I'll hit the chat in a minute, answer some questions, and then go to the what do you call it? Go to my share my screen with you guys. Give me 1 second. Let me actually put it up there. Okay. All right. So yeah, I don't think World War III is imminent, but crazier things have happened. There's 2 wars going on. Well, there's 3 fronts in the Middle East, which is Gaza, Lebanon, and Iran and Israel, Ukraine and Russia, raging continuously. Yeah, the world is a horrible place at the moment. So let's see. Cheeky Chops. Yeah, Cheeky Chops is spamming the board. Techie B, good morning, good afternoon. Vic G, how they're going to print when the machines are broken? Vic G says they don't print, actually. They just put zeros into their ledger. There is no more machines. They can't print fast enough. Cheeky Chops. Let's see if there's anything good in this. Okay, the Ayatollah can kiss whatever. Okay, Israel is my people. Okay, Happy New Year to my Jewish people. Okay, blame it on the white man. No, we don't play the blame game here at all. We're all adults. Everybody's responsible for themselves. Yes, yeah. Oh, my prayers actually to all the people in North Carolina, Asheville specifically. I mean, holy crap. Some of those pictures were like unreal. I mean, I was like, wow. Isn't work supposed to be the art of ambush and surprise? Yes, of course. But this was the most televised, advertised attack in the history of attacks. Okay, go Bills. Yeah, Bills. Yeah, they lost. They got blown away. That defense looked like Swiss cheese, a good Swiss cheese with a million holes in it. Cheeky Chops. I'm not sure about that. Amazing Linsation 82 says Israel will knock out Iran. Yeah, exactly what I said. Oil will go up. Iran go to bank overlords for money. Yeah, exactly. That's what I just said. And they did that in the early 80s. It took it to set back Iran like a decade minimum. and now they're going to probably do the same thing again. So, but Iran already said, this is it, we're done for now. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. I mean, even the war now is like they announcing what they're going to do. Then a month and a half later, they do it. And then right after they do it, they go, okay, we're done for now. I'm like, doesn't even make sense. So I think I hit pretty much on everything. Oh, well, let's take care of some business now that some of you are here. Hey, Mojotronics is here. So tomorrow is the first members only live stream. I'm going to do a live stream just for members only. I already have the thumbnail in the channel. Notifications will go out. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Grab a membership because I think it's well worth it. I'm going to do 2 of these extra live streams. So Monday, Wednesday, they're called Trading with Sergio with a headline. Fridays are Power Hour, where I talk about the macroeconomic picture and different topics, and of course share my account. So tomorrow is the first members only live stream, where I could really share my screens or take a look at your screens. You guys can share your screens with me, what you're doing, what you're looking at, get more in depth, answer more questions, smaller group, obviously. And so please come in. Don't make me just do it on my own. I don't know how many members the channel has at the moment, but the more the merrier. And I may even put the link out and then get you guys on. So if you're not a member, you could be a subscriber, but you have to be a member to take part of that live stream tomorrow. It's already, the thumbnail is already there for some of you who are members already. So TechieB says, in 2008, the Fed started QE, correct? This was supposed to be a one-time thing. No, it's never a one-time thing. Now they have, yes. No. Okay, good question. See, this is a good question. Let's just answer this and then I'll share my screen. So I talked about QE and QT. QE is quantitative easing, like printing dollars, exactly what TechieB is saying. This was supposed to be, no, this never is supposed to be a one-time thing. When you start borrowing money and when you play the game too big to fail, okay? When you don't allow the bad shit to die, it doesn't end. Okay, so in 2008, they had a chance to end it, get all the bad actors out of the game, and then healthy companies would survive. That didn't happen. So what they do, they put all the bad debt into good companies. They merged Countrywide with B of A. They merged Washington Mutual, Wachovia with JP Morgan, right? I mean, they just basically created these 5 super banks. And that's what they always do. That's what they're going to do, because they can't allow the system to collapse, because there's so much inner trading or inner counterparty risk in all this. You guys have to think the bigger picture. They can't. So when the pandemic showed up, so what they do is they had zero interest rate policy for 15 years until 2022, 14 years. Literally zero interest rates. That's when all the well-to-do people borrowed money and bought all the real estate, literally playing Monopoly, okay? And then jacked the rents up. What did that do? That kicked in inflation. And, we suffered. So then they raised the rates for 2 years from 0 to 5.5. And now they're back on the cutting rates again. So they went from QE for 15 years to QT, quantitative tightening. And now we're back on QE. Although they were never off the gas, pretty much, because interest rates are not the only thing you guys got to watch. You guys got to watch the money supply. You guys got to watch all overnight repos, all kinds of things. So when you look at those, they never went to QT, really. And then they said they're going to lower the balance sheet, which they have, about a couple of $1 trillion, still about 7 trillion. They were up to 9.5 trillion. FYI, the Fed is not supposed to hold any assets other than bonds, U.S. government bonds. But during 2008, they took on as collateral everybody's used underwear because the system needed money. And, they lent money to save the system. And in 2020, when COVID showed up, well, that was right? The black swan that nobody expected, I guess, and everybody's stuck at home. Economy absolutely came to a crashing halt. Everybody's at home. Printed 8 trillion, sent money to everybody. A lot of people did well, but then I talked about the personal debt in this country. What's happening? It's right. Personal savings are absolutely zero now, which during the pandemic, actually, personal savings went through the roof. I had put up charts many times. It's in content. You guys see those jagged peaks when people were actually saving money and paying down their debt. Now we're at an all-time high with credit card defaults, home mortgage defaults, car loan defaults going through the roof. This is without the economy going in a recession yet, and personal savings at zero. So, that's what we do. We spend, we borrow, we spend. We do it as a government. We do it as a personal level. I don't, but if you keep doing it, you're going to get hurt, and that's what's happening. So I have a union meeting, but I will try really hard. No, you can watch the. Once we do that, I think we'll put it out for the rest of the channel. But then, if you're not live now, you will be able to get a replay. I'm pretty sure Chris sets those things up. So initially, the live part will be members only. If you miss it, it's okay. There'll be another one in 2 weeks. So I'm going to do the members only live stream twice a month. And everything else continues Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. But members only, I think members will get a lot out of it. So if there's nothing else, so come up with some stocks, guys. Let me add the screen to the stage. Okay, this is my positions. All right, so let's start at the top. I was, as you guys know, I was buying Micron. I added it. I kept adding. One second. Okay, so I keep adding. I know Vic is going to say don't add to a losing position. These are November 15th, 15 calls. My cost, I have 35 of them, as you guys can see. I'm highlighting it here with a cost of 225. They're about 185. I will add 5 more at like 170 levels. I had a profit in the morning. They were as high as 240, but I'm holding these. I keep adding to my lunar position. I have more buy orders sitting there. I'm up to 50 of the November 9 calls with a cost of 93 cents. They're 80 cents. I started adding to the November 10 calls. I have 30 of them so far with a cost of 67 cents. They're about 60 cents, so no big deal there. My lotto ticket still exists, but I may have a shot. I may have a shot with my lotto ticket. As you guys know, Hain Celestial, right? I have 300 calls with a cost of a nickel. There's no bid on them. They're 10 cents or whatever. Stock is 880. It got as high as 917 today. I have those are October 18th $10 calls. Most likely they will hit the wall, but if the stock, I have 12 trading days left after today, so they may absolutely just turn into an amazing lottery ticket. Perfectly honest with you guys. And if they get to 15, 20 cents, that's like a triple quadruple. I will sell it. But in order for that to happen, stock is down, I think, 10 cents, 12 cents, whatever today. This morning, I got excited. Stock got up to 917. I'm going like, if this thing gets to 950, those calls will be like 25 cents. But I have time. I'll have a couple of days. I have 8 NVIDIA calls. I added 2 more today. Now, you guys are going to say, why do you keep adding calls? Well, okay. I'm adding calls on things that I like, that I think will bounce when the market bounces. But I have the puts on the other side as a hedge to cover all these positions. So overall equity game, right? I'm not looking at individual positions. As you guys remember, I had 50 sleep number calls. They don't exist anymore. I blew them all out between 160 and 2 on Tuesday and yesterday, Tuesday, obviously, and Monday after we hung up, I cleaned them up, so sleep number is gone. So that was a good trade. My cost on those was a dollar one, somewhere in that range, and my exit price on average was about 165, 170. So I'll take that 70%. So I'm adding to Lunar, LUNR. I'm up to 80 calls, 9s and 10s. These are November, by the way. I'm adding to Micron. They are 185. I will add 5 more, actually. I will put an order. I'll just leave it alone for now. So the other thing that I did this morning is right off the open with some of these, you guys, this is a counter trend thing that I did, and you guys need to be really careful with these. I bought and sold. I have 10 left, but I'm actually going to add 9 in a minute. I'm buying puts on Bilibili. These are October 18th, $25 put. Stock is 29. I have 10 with a cost of 146 at the moment. They're about 150, but I bought 30 of them right at the open when the stock was at 32. And here's that. You guys can see right here, up here. So average buy 25 of them at $1.36, and the exit average sell so far for what I've done, okay, was $1.92. So decent trade within like 10 minutes, literally. So again, trading the equity game, but I will buy 5 more of these puts now, actually, now that they're in my $1.50 range. These are October 25 puts. Stock went parabolic. I'll show you guys the charts. 25, $1.50. We're buying 5 at 150. And yep, just got done. 5 at 150, and they moved the offer to 170. Great. I also have sellers at 180, 190 if the stock tanks, which I think the Chinese stocks are extremely overextended. This is a pro trade. You guys don't follow me on this, because I was in and out this morning on 25 of them. Now I'm up to 15 again. I'm accumulating the puts again. This is not for the faint-hearted. They're October 25 puts. Let's go back to the positions. So I traded my butt off with those spider puts. I have 12 left, but you guys also have to understand what I did yesterday when the market tanked. I added to it. I took them off, but then I sold as I was actually going to do it. I missed it on Monday while we were live. I sold this weekly, this coming Friday's 550 and 555 puts, and I oversold them because the premium was ridiculous on those. And now I'm down to 14. I actually covered a whole bunch, and you guys will see on the screen right here. So I sold 10 of the weeklies with a cost of 53 cents. I covered on average 9 of them at 18 cents. So that's a profit. So I was selling first, buying it back at a lower price. I have 13, as you guys can see here, with a negative sign. So I'm long 12 still of the Octobers, but what I'm doing is I'm selling, those are October 18th. They're going to expire in 12 days. And index at the moment, Spider index is 568.40. So, but I sold the 550s and 555s when the market really took a hit yesterday. So I sold a whole bunch of the 550, 555 weekly puts against my long position. So I'm taking a ton of premium. At the moment, I'm still short the 555s. As you guys see, minus 13, it says. I'm short with an average cost of 102. They went to $1. The day that I missed it while I was on Monday morning, they were at 66 cents, and then they disappeared. Yesterday, because of the swoosh or whoosh we got to the downside, they pumped these things up. They got up to like $1.20, and I was able to get off a whole bunch of them at $2 cost. Now they're down to 43 cents, obviously. Those are going to most likely expire worthless. The other ones are down to 15, 16 cents. My average cost is 52 cents. On the long puts, which I'm going to keep because it kind of covers, in fact, I may just add to it. That's like a head surrogate. It's just kind of go in, go out, go in. I sold a whole bunch this morning at 575, 610, 630. Yesterday, I sold it up to 7 when the market took a dump. I'm just in and out like many, many times during the day with those. Yeah, so those are my positions. And I will get back to the screen now. The on the existing remaining puts that I have, my cost is 562. They're 553, but I'm taking a whole bunch of money. And so basically, at my peak, I had over 26 puts, which I now reduced exposure on those to 12, taking profits. But then I kept the naked side open because now they're melting away pretty much, right? And then every day, theta, the time decay on these is going to just kill these puts, and that's selling premium, right? You can't just make a directional bet without selling premium against it. I did make the directional bet. The direction was correct. The magnitude was okay. I would have hoped for more. But then when I sold these puts against my position, I'm lowering my cost every single minute, right? So you guys have to understand that game, the way the game is played. What else? So Micron, okay, I told about, and Nvidia, I told you guys about. Lunar, I told you guys about that. Yes, those are the positions. What else am I looking at? I'll go through my list in a minute. Actually, let me get back if you guys have any questions, because this could get complicated. Let me see if you guys have any questions. Let's see. Do you have any questions? Missed WHLR this morning. What's up with that? Okay, I will take a look at WHLR. Do you think PLTR has more room? Yeah, okay, I'll look at that as well. It's your money. You can do any show. Yeah, I know. That's simply putting it. Okay, so WHLR and Palantir. Palantir got selected to the S&P 500, obviously. Let's get back to the charts. Go through my list. Okay. Charts. Yeah, Billy is just going sideways. So I bought the short-term puts on those. Don't do that. Don't follow me on that. Let's make this big. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go through the charts. All right, so let's start with the S&P 500. Spiders down 72, 567, 90, kind of curling over. MACD is curling over. You know, all these long positions I've accumulated, I will exit, but then I have the puts to kind of protect myself with it. So, you know, if you're following me, you got to have an exit strategy, because I'm not on with every single minute of the day, because I change my mind on a heartbeat, right? So this is the spider chart, SPY. I mean, I want a pullback, right? I don't, you know, I want a sharper pullback, but we'll see if we're going to get it or not. And if we do get it, my long exposure, which is more than my put exposure, downside exposure at the moment, is going to get hurt. So, but then you can always take small losses and because the market is indecisive, honestly. It's right on the 20 EMA. There's support, obviously, on 50 EMA, which is at 556. The best thing for me would be like market goes a couple more days sideways, those short puts expire worthless, and then we get a crack to the downside. And then on the downside, I'll keep adding to the puts. Apple, you know, was negative, kind of tested the 50 EMA, turned back up. I'm just going to look at the Mag 7 that I own, NVIDIA, you know, trying to set up a reversal day, you know, still going sideways. I'm long. October 18th, 125 calls, only 8 of them. Actually, let me go through the positions first. Look at Billy, right? This is BILI is the symbol. Look at that chart, right? And I was talking about Bilibili and most Chinese stocks when Baba was 75. So when Baba was 75, this thing was 14, 15. But look what has happened over the last, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th day. Stock was at 16, broke out totally at 18, hit 31.77 today. So when you guys get on these things, right, money could be made. I mean, you don't have to follow me. You just got to look at charts and, interpret it yourself. Baba, as I said, I'm 75% out on my long-term portfolio. Yeah, it did hit 116.57 today. All these stocks, Chinese stocks, are going parabolic. JD.com, look at that one, right? 25 to 47. Baidu.com, that's actually, so what's the play here, right? Okay, they're all gone parabolic. PDD, which is the owner of Temu or Tamu, PDD, look at that one, right? 90 to 150 and change. It's parabolic. Everything has gone parabolic. So what's the play here? So the play here is you don't short like I'm doing. I can do it because I've seen this movie before. When things go parabolic, they don't end well. So Billy, let's say BILI, it is so far away. But if you look at the longer term picture on BILI, it's just getting going. So you guys got to look at the short term. You guys got to look at the long term. This is the 3-year chart of BILI. BILI was a $90 number, came down, based at 9.5 to 15 forever, for over a year and a half. And now you have the breakout, right? So now, it hit resistance today right about 30. But the point I'm trying to make is, how do you play this going forward, right? Well, now you don't short, obviously. Okay, don't do what I do. I do it because I know what's going to happen to a point. But then I'm doing it with options, limited risk. Number one, I'm not shorting the stocks. Now you have to start measuring these things. So stock went from 14 to 32. What is that? That's 18 points. Simple things, right? What's 50% of 18? 9 points. Stock at 32 minus 9 is 23. There will be a pullback, hopefully, to Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci numbers are 31.8, 50%, 62.8. So you guys start reading. It's in your books. It's in your technical analysis books, okay? There will be a pullback. Will today be the high? Could be, possibly. But now all these stocks, JD, Baidu, Baba, Billy, and all these, PDD, all these stocks are buy on pullbacks, because this is the rotation that you guys need to be in. These are not going to care what the U.S. market does. To a point, they will, but this is now buy on pullback. So where do you start buying? Well, the 20 EMA is 19 still. I mean, this stock is, Billy, I'm talking about, is literally 70% above its 20 EMA, double its 50 EMA, and double and a half of its 200. Stocks don't grow to the sky, okay? But on pullbacks to 24, 25, definitely the game is not over. Game is just starting. Trend is being established now, okay? These are buys on dips. These are the ones that you need to buy on dips, okay? I'll just look at through my positions first, and then I'll go through the rest of it. This is Lunar 740. It's pulling back on absolutely no volume, low volume, and that's why I'm adding it. I added more today. It's right on its 20 EMA, which is about, not on it, but today's low is 720. So 20 EMA is at 7 and change, 707, I think. So that's why on these I'm giving myself time by buying November's. Okay. And for me to make money on these positions, right? Stock doesn't have to get to 10, doesn't have to get to 9, because I'm buying the 9 and 10 calls, November 15 calls. I have time on my side. If the stock rallies only back to 9, those calls will most likely double, or if it's less, because there's some time decay, they may go up 50, 60, 70%. Then I'll take it, right? There's nothing wrong with this chart. I like the chart. I'm going to add it. Obviously, if it goes a little bit lower, as long as it's going lower, I mean, there's a gap it could fill. I doubt that it will. It'll show me how strong it is. But volume has completely dried out, literally like down to nothing. And so that's a good sign. So what happens is that weak hands are getting out. And on the next pump or push, this may get to 12, 13, and I have the time to participate in that. Hain Celestial is this one, is my lottery ticket. I like the pattern a lot. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. They're October 18th. I still have 12 trading days. If this takes out 920, I may just hit the lotto on those, because there is a pretty decent short position in this as well. Micron, which I'm adding, I'm long 35 calls. It's down now, down 20 cents at 100. So I'm buying the November, okay, 115s. Why am I buying the 115s? You guys see this old high, right? Is right at 115. Retest of the whole old high is not my thing, right? If it does, then those options will be like $8, $7. But my point is, there will be a snapback rally. It's pulling back. It had the earnings. It had the catalyst, massive gap up. Now it's pulling back on low volume. All good. These are the types, just like Billy's to a point. These are the types you add on dips, low risk trading, right? 50-day EMA is at 97. Stock is 100. You're risking, if you buy it here, you're risking 3 points. What's your upside? Okay, if it gets 50% of the correction that it did 115 to 100, all right, that's 7.5. Those get to 107.5. Stock gets to 107.5. Those options that I'm long will most likely be at least 3.5 to 375. That's another 70%. So patience. These are November 115 calls. So let's go through the list. Let's go. Apple I showed. Affirm, those almost at the buy point. Patience, please. Patience. Now I'm looking at it. 50 EMA is 37. Stock is 38.50. It went as high as 48 last week, 47. 48 actually. Now down to 38.50. If it pulls back to 37, I will start nibbling between 35 and 37. Not yet. Patience. Let's look at ASTS, another rocket stock or whatever. So consolidating. MACD is still going down. Not a huge fan, but definitely on my watch list. Baba, we talked about. Billy, we talked about. On Friday, actually, I'll talk about the new Bitcoin surrogate that they brought out. 2x now. 2x leverage ETF on MicroStrategy. You got to love it. So Mojotronics is here. Let's look at CLSK. Retesting the low. It went from 8 to 10. Back to 8-ish. 884. Yeah, just going sideways. You're just hoping for Bitcoin to go to 120,000. This thing will be like 15. First Solar, not a huge fan anymore. Just be cautious, because I'm kind of cautious overall in the market. IWM, which is Russell 2000. Consolidating, man. That looks like a W to me, but we'll see. Lunar 742. We talked about that. MicroStrategy, back up 6. Wow. Yeah, Bitcoin must be strong. One of Vic stocks. Vic, I hope you bought it and you're keeping it. You told us to buy it. Well, not buy it, watch it. NNE, nuclear, right? Nuclear stock. Nano nuclear. Look at that. 1725. When Vic told us that, it was like 10, I think it was like 12 or 13. I said I wouldn't buy it, pull back to 10.5. I'm not long. I'm just trying to get a feel for it. So let's look at Palantir. Question was on Palantir. Beautiful uptrend. If I had it, I would just keep it. I would raise my trailing stop. Trailing stop should be about 33 now. But then keep raising the trailing stop. Follow the 50 EMA up. Going sideways before it makes a new high. Nothing wrong with this chart, obviously. What was the other one? WHLR? Was it? Or WLHR? No. WLHR. What was this? No. What was it? What? Hold on. WLH. Joby. I'll take a look at Joby. WHLR. What is WHLR? It's trash. What are you looking at, Mojotronics? I don't know. All right. WHLR. Wheeler Real Estate Equity. What is that? Oh, you're looking at because it had reverse split after reverse split. Okay, hold on. Let's look at an intraday chart. Because it shows us a high of 1,000. How many reverse split did this thing have, man? Why do you guys look at this kind of trash? Okay, let's look. Okay. All right. Oh, look at this. It went from 7. Algos came in. It went from 7 to 18 today. Great. Now what? It's going sideways, waiting for the VWAP to catch, which is about 12. Okay, great. Let's look at the longer term one. Let's look at 10-minute, 10-day. Okay. You want to trade it? And these they will pump these and then you will hold the bag. I'm telling you. I've seen this movie a million times. And before it may go to 40. I don't know. Not my cup of tea, man. I ain't trying to get rich quick. So I'll let you handle this one, Mojotronics. Okay, so the stock has these crazy moves. This is 60-day, 60 minutes, 30-day. It went from 340 to 37 in 3 days. Then from 37 came down to 11. Then from 11 went up to 30. Then from 30 all the way down to 7 this week. And today it went from 7 to 18. Are you telling me that this is going to go back to 30? Possibly. I don't know. I mean, easy trade. Really, if you're going to be involved, I'm not going to be involved. I wouldn't buy this with your money. But now, okay, so in the morning, the pump came in, right? See all this volume? Now, absolutely no volume. Kind of going sideways. Next pump comes in. Yeah, this will, obviously, it's a thinly traded stock because it has like 400, 600,000 share peaks. But when it gets going, when the algos come in, what else is there to say? So good luck with this, Mojotronics. Joby, somebody asked. Up $1. This is on my list. Let's take a look at the daily. Oh, yeah. There you go. Big volume. Must be catalyst. What's the catalyst today? I'll take a look at the news in a minute. Let me actually look at it now. Joby. Toyota doubles down on Joby Aviation. $500 million investment powers U.S. electric air taxi. Okay. Good. Good idea. Good one. Interesting. All right. Where's the trade then? Okay, let's do it. Volkswagen put in $5 billion into Rivian. What happened to Rivian? For a couple of days, this is Rivian. I bought one last put back at 15 cents. Excellent. Let's take a look at Rivian. Look what happened to Rivian, okay? Let's look at you guys can see the chart, right? Okay, so here was the deal. Volkswagen announced a $5 billion investment. Stock went from 14 to 20. Now we're back to 10.5. So when these kind of outside funds come into these small companies, well, first of all, Joby is not a small company, but Toyota is a pretty big partner. So I would be a buyer. I mean, your risk is pretty limited, right? Risk is 4.5, which is this low. And will it test 7.5? Yeah, you could. I mean, but then that'll be the top probably because I don't think these things are ready for prime time yet. But if you look at the long term, yeah, I mean, the stock was as high as 12. Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. If you want to own it, own it. You know what your risk is. Another one in this area that I've been looking at, it's on my back end watch list, is Archer Communications or Archer Aviation, sorry, ACHR. That's at like 3. Same thing. That's actually we interviewed the CEO of the company. That's another EVTOL, as they call it. That stock has a tendency of moving, so it goes from 3 to 5.5 back to 3. If you want something comparable that hasn't moved yet, this may be interesting. 315. I think Kathy Woods has some shares in this thing. I mean, if you guys believe in it, low risk trade here, $3. What's your risk? I mean, I don't know, 2.5. With an upside of 550, almost a double. Not bad. High is 7. This is a big company, by the way. They have over 1 billion shares outstanding. So don't think it's like because it's 3, it's like garbage. It's not. Okay. Okie dokie. So let's keep going through the list. List. What else is on my list? Of course, Carvana made a new high yesterday when the market was selling off. Oh, very careful with these stocks though now. Yeah, Carvana looks like Palantir actually. Very careful with all these. Lunar 747. Okay. MicroStrategy up 7. Bitcoin must be up. I will talk about those two surrogates, MSTU and MSTX, on Friday. Micron, nowhere. 128. What else? Rocket Labs. Rocket Labs keeps going, man. Why is I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Lunar cannot be too far behind if Rocket Lab keeps going. What else is on my list that are new, kind of newish? Sleep Number 1730. I traded in and out. I'm done with that. Tesla down 10. Yeah, their car sales were horrible. Although it pulled back exactly to the 20 EMA. So you guys watched Wednesdays. I said if I own a Tesla, or Monday and one Mondays actually, and last Fridays I said if you guys owned it, I would lighten up on Tesla. It's going up pre-event on the October 10th, the robotaxi event. Like this is going to be one of those situations where buy on rumor, sell on fact. Uber pulling back. I mean, I don't like these companies anyway, but just put it up. Upstart still going sideways. My favorite is Affirm. Yeah, I'm just waiting one more day, maybe a couple more days, down to 35 to 37. I'm all over Affirm for a rally back up to the old 45, 47 area. Yeah, Zillow. Yeah, there you go. See, buy on dips. This is your chance right here. I'm definitely going to put this to the front on my watch list now. Stock is 68 down to 63. 20 EMA is at 62 and a half. 50 EMA is 58. Carefully tippy toe in here potentially. But these are the things. These are the types of stocks that you guys need to nibble in. When it gets to your price, do not rush it. Do not jump it. Do not, do not just preempt anything. But that's where things are at, and that's the watch list. Let's see if you guys have any other questions. So tomorrow, first members only live stream, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And let's see if there's any questions. WW3 okay. Do you think Palantir? Okay, answer it. It's your money. Any updated thoughts? Joby, there you go. Answered that one. NIO waiting for a pullback. Vic G. Okay, let's take a look at NIO. I'm driving right now. Check it out. Okay, fine, cool. So don't make me just talk to myself tomorrow, members. Grab a membership. Come on down. Hey man, it's $10. Gotta pay Chris. So what's $10? It's not even a burger. If you guys don't think it's worth $10, then you don't think it's worth $10. But you guys will get 2 extra lives out of it, and I think it's well worth it. Any other questions? NIO. Let's take a look at NIO. What is NIO? Well, are you long NNE? You gave us the idea because you keep day trading. Just you're doing your hummingbird jockey thing. Should have bought NNE at 10.5. You had the handle on it. Stock at 17, 70% later. I don't understand. I'm not trying to be an a-hole to you, but okay, you have NNE, you're holding it? Yes. Is that what that means? I'm glad. I'm happy for you. NIO. Okay. Nice chart. Okay, people, add it to your list. NIO Inc. Is this like a vaccine-ish kind of a thing? I remember NIO. This used to be like so much higher. Yep, I was right. Yeah, this is, yeah, exactly. Neo Bio. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, nice chart. Just breaking out. Get on it, people. Follow Vic. NIO. You're waiting for a pullback. Oh, I hope you get a pullback. I'm putting this to the front of my screen too now. Does this have options? Yes, it does. Let's see what's. Oh, look at the action on those options. Look at the Friday expiration. There must be some news today. What is the news on it? Must be some news. Let's see. Uh-huh. Behind this is Neo. Oh, Neo is no. Neo is an EV company, right? Yes. Chinese, of course. I'd be careful with that. Definitely adding it to my watch list now. I had forgotten about this. Boyd, Neo, Xpeng. Yes. I do remember Neo. Yes, sir. Not my favorite out of the Chinese ones, but hey, it broke out with all the rest of the Chinese group. Absolutely. Billy. Billy is the one. Billy B. It's just like the Michael Jackson song. Billy's not my lover. Yeah, Billy's going sideways. Nvidia doing fine. Lunar kind of turning around. Let's go green, Lunar. Let's go green. I have a shit ton of options on that. 50 and 30. Let's go green. Let's put a reversal day in. I like it. Micron. Micron green now. What happening? The market's rallying. Must be. Yeah, so much for the World War III. I mean, I'm not laughing. It's horrible up there. If you guys ever, we were so, yeah, exactly. Spiders are green, of course. Oh well. Yeah, awesome. Let's get back to the main screen. Neo. Okay, that's a EV company. I know. Not my favorite. The other one is, they're both are good, but pullback. I mean, there will definitely be a pullback in the Chinese stocks without a question. Where from? I don't know. When they go parabolic, parabolics don't end well, so you guys know. Okay, let's go back to the main screen and chit chat a little bit. Love the chit chat. Man, Vic. Okay, Vic says switching to Chinese companies. Where have you been? Where have you been? Come on. Who said Chinese companies, specifically Baba, for 3 months? Actually, the first day I started the channel, I was talking about Baba. I mean, right? Okay. All right. So Boyd BYD is the best one out there. Competes with Tesla. Neo, I don't think is a Tesla competitor. BYD definitely is. They're selling more cars in Europe than Tesla is. And Warren Buffett owns a whole chunk of Boyd. They made a great investment in that a few years ago. Yeah. Any other questions? Anything else going on in your lives? Any other questions about anything? So tomorrow, first live stream for members only. Join me. Don't leave me alone. I don't want to be by myself, but I will be on. But if there's like nobody here, I will wait for like 15 minutes, talk to myself for 15 minutes, and then we'll move on. Because otherwise, it's boring. We know you did. Okay, Buffett sold. Not really. Not. Buffett sold most of his BofA shares. Buffett sold most of his Apple shares, although he still has the ridiculous amount of Apple. Buffett is 277 billion in cash. He owns more T-bills than the U.S. government does. So when I did the episode last Friday, Power Hour, I said, "Who's holding all this bag?" Well, not bag, but the IOUs that we're issuing. Buffett owns a whole chunk of it. So let's add it. Let's look at these current positions. Let's see if we improved. All right, let's see where the positions are. All right, a minute ago. Yeah, those Haynes, man. I mean, that lotto ticket, if that thing closes above 9 today, I'm telling you guys, I'm getting excited. My cost is a nickel. Even if I sell them at a dime, it's a double. Micron, 170. Calls are $2 now. They were 180, so my loss is about I don't know, $700. No big deal. I own 35 of the November 115 calls. Lunar 752, 753. I own 50 November 15 $9 calls. I own 30 with an average cost of 94 cents. And I'm going through them again before I say goodbye. I own 30 of the November 15th $10 calls with a cost of 66 cents. They're about even. NVIDIA, I own 8 October 18th 125 calls. Cost is 320. They're about 220. No big deal. I made, again, my account is up about 4% this week so far. So those puts that I have sold, right? There. Okay, so now I'm long 12 and short 13. Long 12 of the October 18th 565 puts and short 13 original position. Actually, I sold them over at $1.02 average. They're down to 32 cents. They're most likely going to expire worthless. Those are this Friday's 555s. So what happens? Okay, so my long puts may lose a little bit in value, but I traded so much of it in and out, it doesn't really matter. I'm leaving the short side alone. They're going to expire worthless. So if they do expire worthless, which I'm pretty sure they will, unless there's some calamity next 2 days. But again, still, I'm long the 565s. Even if the market falls apart, goes to 555, these puts will be in the money, but then my long puts will be in the money by 10 points. So they'll be like 12 instead of 5.5 or 520, whatever they are, right? So you guys understand how the game is played. So if it doesn't, if you guys recall, I did it last week as well. As soon as I bought the puts, I had sold the 555s against it. So I lowered my costs. I'm intraday trading in and out of these puts, but I'm keeping the short side alone. Leave it alone. I had double oversold actually the 550s and 55s yesterday morning when I was lightening up on exposure on the short side with these puts. I had up to 28, I think. I'm down to 12. So I'm taking profits when the long puts go up. I'm leaving the short puts alone. They're melting away. I closed all 10 today of the 550s. I'm still short the 13 of the 555s, Friday expiration. They're down to 32 cents. So they expire worthless. My cost goes down another $1.02 on these long puts. You guys understand what's happening here? That's it. What else is there to say? Okay. Billy. Yeah, I'm long 15 puts of Billy, by the way. Do not do that. Do not follow me there. Let's get back to the front screen. Get rid of this. And okay. All right. No questions? You guys are really quiet, making me nervous. All right. So I will see you guys Friday. Well, tomorrow, members only. Please join. Don't leave me alone. Grab a membership. Come on, don't be cheap. What else? Because what's going to happen pretty soon is that I'm going to replace the Wednesday trading with Sergio with members only. Because I can't do 4 of these a week. It's just taking way too much time for whatever return I'm getting out of it. But I will still do the Monday, Friday ones. Monday will be called Trading with Sergio. Fridays will be called Power Hour. Those will go on for regular subscribers. But I will replace the one I'm doing now with members only live streams, hoping to grow the membership that way. And you guys will get a lot of value out of it. And if there's any other more questions, I will answer it. But actually, I want to hit upon before I go. I want to talk a couple of minutes about the port strikes that's going on. So what does that mean, right? These are the very important workers, right? They empty those container ships. So there's container ships parked in the water with thousands of containers on them. Well, if the port workers are striking, which they are in the East Coast, so there's 3 or 4 ports around the country that are probably the most important ones. One, obviously, on the West Coast is Long Beach, right? Over 900,000 containers come through Long Beach. The one that they're striking on, 50,000 of them, is in the East Coast, New York. There is a huge one in Galveston, Texas, right? These are the main ports, as you guys can notice. There's one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, one on the South. So all these containers get obviously loaded on trucks, and then, Walmart gets their Chinese goods, and Target does, and everybody gets it. So this may show, actually, I read it today. I don't know if it's true or not. I hope it's not true. I read it on Twitter that people are like rushing out and buying toilet paper again. Are you people serious right now? If you guys are doing that, please don't do it. There's plenty of toilet paper. We're not in the pandemic. But so the port strike is going to do something. What? It's going to squeeze the supply chain. So when you go to Walmart or Target, because these companies work on very efficient inventory systems, they're expecting the stuff to get offloaded and be in trucks and go into Walmarts, 4,000 or 5,000 Walmarts around the country, immediately, right? Well, now they're striking. When they're striking, none of those are going to get offloaded, and inventory is going to be slim. So they may create some sort of supply chain problem. You guys got to keep an eye on it. I mean, macroeconomics, and importantly, tomorrow and Friday. Tomorrow, ADP unemployment data is coming out, and Friday unemployment numbers are coming out. So those could be market movers as well, but I will see you guys on Friday anyway. So you don't have to offer anything. You just got to listen and understand. It's like literally like a mentoring sessions, really. You need to, like, if you're a member and you're going to join, come up with questions, million questions. Let's fill the whole 60 minutes tomorrow with questions. Irregardless if you think it's stupid, unimportant, whatever. Not the point. That's why you remember. There is no stupid questions. There is no ignorant questions. Question is a question. I've heard it probably, but that's not the point. All I'm doing is that through the membership, give you guys more one-on-one kind of a mentorship coaching, right? I'm going to ask you guys also, like, what level do you think you're at? Are you reading your books? Have you done the educational part that I'm asking you guys to do? Because I'm not going to give you everything. You guys need to come up on your own, on your dead time, instead of watching YouTube or whatever, some TikTok, get the books out. That's what I want you guys to do. I'm not expecting you guys to catch up to my level, but I'm also expecting us to put some work, right? As opposed to me showing you my positions. Like, if you did the puts that I was talking about, you would have made money. However, that's not the point. The point is, next time, if I don't tell you what I'm doing, what are you going to do? Fish out of water, right? So you can use me as a crutch for as long as I can do it, right? I mean, I'm not going to keep doing it, because I want you guys to, what is that old saying? Don't give a man a fish, teach him how to fish. That's what I'm trying to do. Because once you learn how to fish, you can catch the fish yourself. And then, like Vic does, give us ideas, right? Or you give me ideas. Go through chart books, right? Charts are free on the internet. Charts are free on your platform that you're trading on. Start looking at charts. Start interpreting what they are. Because the reason I'm giving you my trades now and explaining to you all why am I getting in here? Why am I getting out here? What's the purpose? What am I doing? So, but pretty soon, I'm not going to give entry. I'm not going to give exit. Even if I do, what happens if I go off the live stream and, within half hour of that, I blow that position out? Well, you don't know what I did, right? You don't have access to my account. Next day I come in, I don't have that position, like Sleep Number, right? I took the profits. If you bought it with me, now you're basically back to even. I'm pretty sure they're back to 120 that they were, because stock is like 17 and change. It got up as high as 1870. Well, on that move up, I unloaded it, right? Because I'm also thinking the market's not going to do well, and I did get my sell-off. So I'm always cutting exposure, adding exposure, cutting exposure, adding exposure. And all that could be changed like this, because I'm entitled to change my mind, and I don't like losing money, but I will have losing trades. And if you tag along to one of those, then you're just going to go, oh, I followed him and lost money. I'm like, no, because if you do exactly what I'm doing, but you have no access to it, though, because I'm rotating constantly, right? I'm looking at new opportunities. I'm adding to positions. I'm trimming other positions. Those are the things we're going to talk about. And I want you to get there soon. I told you, Big. No, I'm still long the 12 now, 12, as opposed to 28 of the October 565 puts. Going into today, I was at 22. I trimmed 10 when the market dipped this morning. Yesterday, I bought and sold those things so many times with $1 back and forth. At the moment, my current position on the spider puts is I am long 12 October expiration 565 puts, but I'm short Friday expiration 555 puts that I sold them at $1, and I'm short 13. I was also short 10 of the 550 puts yesterday, and I bought them all back at 15 cents. I had sold them at 52 cents, so that's 35 cents credit to me. The 555s will expire worthless. That's another $1.02 credit to me. So I'm always keeping this balance of, at some point, you guys will see when the market's really tanking, you guys will see how I handle my exposure, right? I will not sell puts against my puts. I will not try to lower my thing. I will not touch a call if it was my mother. But market's refusing to go down. When the market's refusing to go down, I need to constantly adjust exposure, right? And that's called risk management. There you go. So I did sell a bunch, and I'm still short the calls. I mean, the puts, 555 puts on chapter 9 of John Murphy's book. Okay, cool. I did take profit on those long puts. I just said it. I took profit yesterday, and I took profit today on the long puts, but I'm keeping the short side naked, open. Yes, I did, as I should have. Yesterday, I took a bunch, and then the market rallied actually yesterday, and then it rolled over. I bought and sold those, I don't know how many times. So none of you were privy to that because I wasn't on live yesterday. On chapter 9 of John Murphy's book, reading it one time is not going to do it, but tomorrow, bring the book. Ask me questions. Then I can tell you, maybe skip this chapter, skip that chapter. Maybe you can just, because reading the whole thing and trying to learn it is not going to work. So keeping it simple, stupid is the idea here. So hopefully you can make it. But there will be other ones. So tomorrow is going to be the first one, members only, and then 2 weeks from then. So let's see. Tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is the 3rd. The next one is going to be on the 17th. Every 2 weeks on Thursdays until I stop doing the Wednesday trading with Sergio. Then I'm going to replace the members only with Wednesday. I don't know when that's going to happen. Probably not anytime soon. Probably not another month or so. Yeah, I did take profits on those. So, okay. So no more questions. So what did we learn today? What we learned today is you got to constantly adjust. You got to constantly rotate. You got to constantly move exposure around. You don't have to be short term. Yeah, you don't have to do day trading. But you got to adjust exposure. And if even in a down market, when certain equities that you're looking at on your watch list are coming to your buy point, don't get nervous. Commit to it. That's the toughest thing to do. When the market's going down, and Nvidia is going down, and Micron is going down, and those I want to buy at a certain point, and they get to that point, but then I see markets negative, I'm like, I don't want to get involved. You need to get involved on the long side. You need to have some sort of balance, unless we had one of those, Japan carry trade sell-offs, literally like getting hammered every day. Then you just cut all your long exposure, right? And that's why you adjust also your exposure with the timing, right? Why on lunar I'm not buying Octobers? I'm buying Novembers. I'm giving myself some time. I'm anticipating there may be a sell-off here. Yes, the stock may get hurt, but I still have enough time. Okay? That's how you adjust exposure with time and strike. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. And I hope you guys get a lot out of it. So so I'm gonna hang up now and go eat something, and then get ready for my other call at 12. But I'm gonna be, by the way, if you're any of you are in LA, I'm gonna be at LAX for an event, which I cannot talk about. It's embargo. But one of the two companies is gonna be there. So they said, why don't you come down? I'm like, okay, fine. November 23rd, not November, Jesus, October 23rd, I'm going to be at LAX from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you guys want to come meet me, I'm going to be there. We can at the LAX holding lot, the LAX. So if you guys, I will announce that on the other show, but I'm just announcing it now. If you guys want to come meet me in person, maybe take a picture or two. So that's it. Much love. Stay safe. Stay healthy. I will see you guys on Friday for Power Hour. Grab a membership. Put a thumbs up. Support the channel. I think I'm doing good work. I think I am. I really am. It's taking a lot of my time, but I think it's worth it. If I can teach you guys how to be financially independent, and that's not going to happen by getting in and out like hummingbirds. Steady as she goes. Again, I'm trading equity. Okay. My account is up close to 4%, 3.8 or 4.2%, depending on how it ends today. I'll take it. 4% a week. I'll take it. And next week, it may be down 4%, but it's okay. On a turbulent week so far, with the World War III happening and this happening, 4% is good. Any time, it's good. Are there things that like HLR, that's blowing up? Yeah. Do I want to be in it? No, I don't care. Jason Williams says, what show is at 2? I don't know. More context, please, Jason. What show is at 2? No. Okay, so members only is tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Trading with Sergio Mondays and Wednesdays until I stop the Wednesdays. It's 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And Power Hour on Fridays, which are going to continue indefinitely, is 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. 2, I don't know. But I did say I'm going to be at LAX on the 23rd of October, which is, I think, is a Wednesday, between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. That's a different thing. So I hope I answered your question. So stay healthy, stay safe. I'll be back on Friday. Hopefully all these positions turn okay. They may turn out to be okay. I'm just excited about my lottery ticket. If Hain Celestial breaks 9.5, that thing explodes. Those nickel options, I have 300 of them. Those things could turn into a gold mine. But I will keep you posted. I still own them. Still own them. Depends. Gotta have patience. I think I owned them for over 3 weeks now. They were at a nickel. They're still at a nickel. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Worst comes to worst, they expire worthless. $1,500. No big deal. But I made the money on other things anyway. So thanks again. Thanks, Mojotronics. I misunderstood. Thought you were on one of your other channel is at 3 okay. Well, on the other channel, we do Show Me the Money at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Next week, breaking news, huge guest. Hint, hint. But we will advertise that, I'm pretty sure, by Tuesday. So on the 8th. And no, tomorrow, if you remember, please come to the members only live stream tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 60 minutes, all questions. Bring everything, bring it all. And I may even put the link out so you guys can join the stream, and then we can look at each other as opposed to me talking to myself here. So I will ask Chris how to do that, but it should be fairly easy with StreamYard. And thanks again. Much appreciated. Be safe out there. Stay healthy.